Rise and shine, beautiful souls. So what if I told you that your children are you in the future? We can't see that because we have our children after we're born, so we don't see that as in the future because we imagine the future is something that we haven't saw yet, but the future does not exist. You will never begin to see the future, right? It's always the present. Time is always just happening. Moments is always just happening. We call that time. But there is no time outside of the present. There is no tomorrow. Time only continues. So when tomorrow comes, that will be today. So there is no future. So we have a concept of time travel where you're supposed to go into the future. We have a concept of time travel where you're supposed to go into the past. If you notice this, when you go into the past, when you go into the future, you're not supposed to change anything. So you ever ask yourself, what's the point? If you can't change anything, what's the point of time travel? Perspective, information, right? So just imagine if we took this idea and concept of time travel and applied it to our children. What if you could push a thought of knowledge, information, perspective that you have right now? What if you could push that back through time to when you were a child and give that to your past self? How much better would you be now? Because we always say, man, if I knew that then, man, look, you know how much further I would be today? So if you could go back in time and give yourself an idea, you didn't change anything about the past. You only gave yourself an idea, information, or perspective. Now, that would change the future, wouldn't it? Even though you didn't change the future or change the surroundings of the past, it would change your current future. When you come back to now, your life would look different, wouldn't it? Because with that information, you would do things with that information. Things that you didn't know to do back then, you would do now. That's your child. Giving your child the information now, you are giving it to you back in the day because your child is you, see? And that's just your past. Now just imagine your child is your future self. You don't have a future, right? There is no future. But your child will see an existence that you won't, pending they live longer than you. And if life is right, they will. So if your intention is to raise your future self or raise your child to outlive you, then that is your future self. That will be you in the future. So why not manipulate the future by giving your child all they need now? By giving you all you need now, so your next run at life, your next go at it, because life is a relay, your child is just you repeating. Why not give your child everything that you need to survive? Why not? Your child is you in the future. Your child is your future self. So when your child is offering you perspective, don't push your child to the side because you don't respect your child's opinion due to its youth. Say to yourself, my child has a soul. My child is a sentient being. And because my child doesn't have all the rules of how we think in this world, that may mean my child's perspective is more pure than my own, being that mine's programmed. So what if my child is my future self coming to tell me something is wrong so I can stop treating them that way so I can break the generational curse? Because when we imagine our future selves, we imagine ourselves with technology we don't have, dressed a certain way that we don't have, probably dressed in all black, long trench coat, shades, with some futuristic type stuff. A lot of times they're further ahead of us in life, and that's probably someone who we want to be. So we imagine our future self to be someone who has it more together than us. But that could be part of the mind flip. What if your future self is your child? And so because you're expecting someone to be further along than you as your future self, you're not going to recognize your child as your future self. But in fact, your child is you in the future. Your child will be you in the future. If your child survives you, your child will be you. Your DNA will still be here when you're gone. That is your future self. So listen to your future self. Take advice from your future self. Gain perspective from your future self. Learn from the interactions that you have with your future self. So both of you can be great. All right? Be evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, or what's in that chaos that you find yourself? Peace.